So, how about that monkey temple? It finally got some changes this update in the form of some buffs, and we're gonna check it out for the first time in quite a while. So, in Ninja Kiwi's words, we haven't looked much at temples since the release of other Paragons, as these have solidly carved out a place for themselves in boss events. The original temple has fallen behind. So we wanted to try to work on this again by improving the weaker temple sub-attacks, but with the increased power, they also reduce the pierce of other things, and here are the patch notes. For the magic sacrifice, the arcane blast attack has double the amount of pierce and double the amount of damage at all levels. As for the primary, golden glaives are quintupled in damage, golden blades are 10x in damage instead, and as mentioned, here are all of the pierce buffs, or rather, pierce nerfs. Down from 5 to 3, 5 to 4 across the board for primary and military. So, interesting changes to say the least. It looks like it's pretty much a straight buff across the board to the single target damage of it. Let's go to Super Monkey down this round, by the way. I feel like the pierce nerfs are small enough to not really be a difference maker though, because at the end of the day, the biggest damage coming from the temple is in the mini sun avatars that you spawn when you sacrifice $50,000 into it. And since that's been unchanged, like buff or nerf wise, this is overall pretty much going to be a buff. Now, if you're wondering exactly how much percent, apparently, like just to keep it simple, 25% is at least one of the numbers that one of the NK devs estimated this buff would be good for. So yeah, pretty sizable. I guess I haven't even explained the challenge yet, but we're trying to get the Temple of the Monkey God in Chimps. It's been a while since I did that, but not just Temple in Chimps, but the Max Temple, of course. It'll be a 1011, the ones and zeros denoting which of the sacrifices I'm getting in the category. So 1011 means no military. Again, last time I tested the temple years ago, military was the worst sacrifice, so I'm surprised none of, like, those attacks got buffed at all, so that makes our decision even easier. But getting the max temple is obviously going to be no easy task, because we need first 100k in buying the upgrade itself, but also 50k in the other three, so that's $250,000 at minimum, meaning I think at the very earliest, we're probably going to get it like 150 is my guess. And that's why I got the discount village locked and loaded early, so that I could save a good amount on the Sun Avatar. Puts us maybe like $2,000 closer to getting that temple. So one of the annoying things, at least getting a temple at Chimps, is that trying to get $50,000 in sacrifices without going over too much. It's like the opposite of the Price is Right. How close can you go without going under this time? Now for primary, I'm actually not going to bother about that. I'm just gonna get a Balloon Crush, which I know is well over 50k, but just looking at it, I think I need it. It's so much better for a stall than Super Glue / Icicle Impale from what I've tested before, so I think it's worth the sacrifice of wasting 15,000 more than usual, but like getting much needed reliability in the balloons, because right now I got a Zeely, so if she can just beat all the F-Bats for me, then we're good, right? It will just take an absolute eternity beating all the rounds with the Balloon Crush, but that's why we've got the Speed Hack, folks. So we're going to use the 25x to our advantage. Now back to the annoyingness of getting 50k of sacrifices. It's harder in Chimps mode because usually I gauge the 50k cost by the sell amount, because if you know it's a certain percentage, like 75% sell back, then you can do some quick math to do like 37.5k of sell back is what you need to get 50k, but you can't do that in Chimps because it always shows $0. So here's my plan instead. We're just gonna bank up $50,000, and then we can just stop around and then spend 50k of that entire category. So for Ninja, for example, I already put $1,000 in this thing, so I just need to wait for 49k, and then find an upgrade to, well, be able to spend all 49k. So how about after this round here? Now I did a blunder. I was actually planning to go for a Grand Sabo here, but I realized, I think Master Bomber is also fine. So yes, it's gonna be the shitty cross path, as much as I hate to say it. Let me just, so I need to be above or below 5420 after this. And that's a bit too much. Do we still take it? You know what? I'm lazy. We're just gonna rock the solo tower. Again, I hope the bad cross path doesn't screw me over, but I figured this would help. One, maybe some slight stalling, but also some good mob damage in case Azili isn't enough, like, single target for the bads. This is my first run at this, so as always, it's always going to, like, be a little bit unoptimal, or in this case, very suboptimal. Now, for the support category, how much does this village cost? Like, $4,000? Yeah, if we want to play it, say 4,000 plus another 1,500, 5. So I need to spend 45k extra. So a carpet of spikes is good mob damage too, but that's well over 50k. Now, bad news, I'm gonna need an actual strong tower because I just leaked a single ceramic on 104, which doesn't bode well for, again, super dense rounds. So what would it be? Actually, I've got an idea. Let's go back to 95. Before I got the, this thing. I don't think mob's gonna be an issue. So, frick it. Let's go for the druid. Spear of the Forest. Is that perfect? Okay, we gotta spend 5k more. That's perfect, though. That's enough for this. And another 200, because why not? There we go. That looks good for 50k. This is awkward. I almost died to the round 100 bad because I didn't get a Z level 20 yet. But that's okay. Because with Spear of the Forest, we will very easily breeze through 104. Now, do I still need Carpet Spikes? Well, we could just very well not buy any support at all at the moment, since I don't think it's overly necessary. I feel like if I would need something, if it's Bloons, this thing can't handle it. Called Arms, I guess. Called Arms plus Overclock might be close. But right now, we only need to save up an extra $50,000, so maybe we could actually get it well before 150 hits. So seeing as Azili can handle 3 bads this round, it shouldn't be an issue for, again, even if we get unlucky in the 140s and the bad spawning, I don't think... from my memory, I don't think we can get that unlucky to get many more than those F-bads or bads on screen during those rounds. Yeah, we're definitely getting this before the F-bad round, so let's just spend our 45k now. Call to Arms. Crap, I didn't keep track, but I think I should be below 100k after this one here. So let's add, I guess, an extra Spike Factory. 1002, there we go. That should guarantee we are safe. And now we just need an extra 9k. All right. Let's do it now. Sun Temple, blast off. And I should have enough money to get back my camo village. I'm gonna need it for DTs this round, please. Yes, thank you, discounts. Now, I don't have any minis on my first spawn, but hopefully it should still be fine with those other buffs, right? Come on, magic bolts and primary blades and shit. Do something. I think it's good enough to hold the line, so that's great to see. We just need the second mini sniper spawn. I think this will be much easier. I guess if we have to do something else, we could hex. But it should be good here. Yeah, there's second mini sniper spawn. Nice. Now, from this point on, I'm going to purposely make the effort of not using Azila's ability because we want to see, obviously, how strong the temple is, right? We don't want Azila to cheese it and then we miss everything. So, yeah, I guess right now, look at the single target. About 2,000 to 3,000 with only a jungle jump buff at the moment. I will give the range crosspath. It's definitely a bit of a struggle, but it should be enough to barely beat 140 in logs here. The temple knockback should blow back DDTs. Or not. I guess it isn't reliable enough, but that's obviously close enough to working that hopefully a restart should do. Now, you know what I messed up with, though? It's that the mini sniper spawned in an awful spot. They're down here. I guess, with that said, I should put it like an out buff here so it stops landing there. Maybe the village should have been there instead. But yeah, that's a huge blunder from my part. I didn't think about that before doing it. But yeah, again, no Azili ability. We're just going to give buffs to the temple and see how long a, well, supercharged temple can survive on chimps now. Again, the difference should be approximately 25%. It changes depending on how many buffs you're going to give the temple. I think worse the more buffs you give, because again, this thing benefits doubly, like Spike Factories, because it affects, or rather sentries, because it affects the spawn rate and the attack rate of the mini sun avatar. So stuff like Call to Arms is absolutely bonkers broken on it. So I guess that's the very first thing we're gonna rush. And look at the placements now. I love them. We just gotta make sure any future towers we place are not going to be where these are. So I'll probably start putting stuff to the right of it. But again, let's just get that Call to Arms first. 17k we need. Actually, crap, why is another sun avatar spawning down here? That's weird. I guess, like, it has a chance to spawn anywhere since there's so much open space around it. Now it's spawning on the right side here. I hope we can make enough money here because it is struggling. Don't tell me we're dead at 153 here. Please no. Again, I don't want to hear anyone else mention or telling me to use the Azili ability, because if you missed it, We're not trying to use it, but I might have to if, like, I can't even get some, like, the first buff up. That wouldn't be ideal. Alternatively, we could try an overclock, and that would... It wouldn't buff the, I don't think, Sun Avatar spawn rate, but it would buff the, like, the main attacks from the temple, which got buffed this update, so I guess that's a bit more merit to go for the overclock. Let's hold that thought, though. I'm gonna die here for sure. Unless we get a nice blowback, please. Or we're not getting it, damn. Okay, let's try the Sun Avatars on Strong then. Ignore these for now. Just focus on this one here. No, this is so sad. Could we get 23 likes here? Last try. Yeah, I'm gonna just Azili that. Yeah, it kind of goes out saying that, like most towers, without buffs, it ain't too hot. Hey, good news, we finally got Call to Arms up though, so maybe we can clutch up this next round with only 2 baities, or are we still going to die to DDTs? I still think we are, so we're just gonna Hex that to end it. God damn it. I hate that I have to resort to this. Yeah, the scaling is simply too powerful for our mini Avatars to keep up. I think for any round with at least 2 bads, we're screwed. We have to. We have to Hex. I also thought the blowback would be a little bit more reliable, but definitely has not been the case so far. Yeah, it only blows back Moabs, which is obviously not ideal. Yeah, like, what is this? Even for DTs coming in, if I don't have Call to Arms, I'm dead. Hex won't even save me there, so we might be at the end of the line much sooner than I expected, sadly. We probably would have hit the end of the line way before, like, this buff, I guess, for some food for thought. I guess I could do some slowdown like glue, yeah. That's the only way to get out of this round as well. Like, I know 10x damage sounds great until you realize it's on one of the worst attacks on the temple, aka... Well, not the worst, but it's obviously very unreliable with the 8 blades. Only shooting out, like, what, once per second or so? And also going in directions where you maybe you don't want it to. Or rather in a position where it doesn't hit a lot of F-bads or bads. When it's on top is nice, though. I think almost all 8 of them should hit. We did finally get an overclock, by the way, so... Maybe that'll help. Same with the glaives. The fact that it's only 1 projectile means that, of course, that 5x damage buff is really not much. Alright, at the end of the day, though, I won't complain too much, because a buff is a buff. Now, do you think I could try to save for my 34.5k Homeland defense? I think we ought to. That would be the only thing to get us, like, more rounds at the moment. Other than maybe a permanent brew, but that's more expensive one. Or we could do an embrittlement, but that would only buff the mini Sun Avatars, only by a little bit. And there it is, with some heavy helping hands from Azealia, we finally got the Homeland D. I guess the next logical step from here would just simply be to get a Call to Arms. And I guess since there's still some Sun Avatars spawning on the bottom side here, not right now, but occasionally you'll see it spawn down there, I should probably just place a village there to go ahead and block placements. And for that, I will. Bad news. We are almost going to die DT, so I had to Hex a single DT there. That's not a good look. This round right here is the reason why I need the Call to Arms, because if I don't have it up, we are so much weaker, but I think we got lucky this time. Nice. This round took several tries to get through it. And how about another Homeland ability here, just to see how much, like, with these buffs now, how much single target can I get? I think it's like 10,000, so not awful. That's probably the best I can explain it. If we could get to round 200 like this, I will be satisfied. Yep, CT is gonna be massive here. 100 million pops has officially been reached with the temple. Well done. It's just those pesky FTDTs right now really stopping us from victory and defeat. And I have a bad unlucky cooldown. Homeland was just like 2 seconds off from saving us there. Maybe I could delay using Call to Arms for this part here, I guess. Yeah. Save it for this part, the more important part. And, not so fast, couple more. There we go, we survived it. Alright, final buff I'll give. I don't know how good this is, honestly, but maybe we could just do an Abyssal Warrior for a little bit of extra pierce. It obviously does nothing against, like, the bads here, but I was thinking if there were, like, DTs in the way, then we could squeeze out a little bit more damage by this not getting pierce capped. If it was, that is. Regardless, this might do it. Unless Hex can save me here. We're only gonna have 1 ability left. We're not gonna get the second one up to beat this one, so good luck. Better be enough. Nice. Barely held on. Alright, beat this round here, and I'll be satisfied with the run. Oh, it's actually very easy. Just 1 bad this round. But I'm pretty sure you get the point from here. Temple, obviously, not enough DPS to handle 200. but certainly could still be useful for the rounds preceding that. Nice. Because I should remind you that, like, for boss events, this does apply to the eventual True Sun God too, so maybe that might be a viable option to go for over Paragons now. For that, you have to see, though, because that's going to be it for today, yeah. Then we'll call it quits at 202. Overall pops, 132 million, and 53 from Azili, almost all of the bads.